Shabbat Shalom, family. This week's Torah portion is Vayishlach, which means and he sent. It's Genesis 32, 4 through 36, 43. And I gotta be honest, these chapters are so jam-packed, full of a lot of action. That was really hard to decide what to focus in on for this devotional. So let me give you a quick recap. We have Jacob and Esau meeting each other for the first time in 20 plus years. The last time they saw each other, Jacob had just stolen Esau's birthright blessing from Isaac, and he needed to flee Esau's wrath. Then we have Jacob wrestles God all night, the night before he meets Esau. And he's wrestling him, and God renames him Israel. We have Dinah. Dinah gets raped, and her rapist wants to marry her, and her brothers are like, yeah, if you and your whole town get circumcised. And so they do. And while they're recovering, Dinah's bros go and kill all the guys that just got circumcised for her. I mean, I don't know if I should laugh at that, but it was a clever tactic. We have Rachel. Our girl Rachel has a baby and dies during childbirth. Rachel, the one that Jacob worked all those years for, 14 years for, she dies and he buries her on the side of the road. Again, no judgment, no judgment. Then we have Isaac dies, and this Torah portion ends with the generation of Esau's family. I decided I want to focus on Jacob and Esau's reunion because it reminded me very much of Jesus's parable of the prodigal son and his father. So let's start this discussion by going to Genesis 33:4. It says, "But Esau ran to meet him, threw his arms around him, and kissed him. They both were crying." So again, this is the first time they've seen each other in 20 years, and Jacob was scared to see his brother. Now let's look at Jesus's parable in Luke 15:20. It says, "He was still a long way from home when his father saw him. His heart was filled with pity, and he ran, threw his arms around his son, and kissed him." This is after the rich man, his son, came to him and was like, "Father, I want my inheritance, and I'm gonna go. Take my inheritance and go." Do you know how disrespectful that is? Give me your money. You're not even dead yet. And he goes and he spends all of his dad's money and comes back home because he's broke. And what does his father do? It says he ran, threw his arms around him, and kissed him. It said the same thing in Genesis. That was Esau's reaction to Jacob. This family is true mercy, true love, complete forgiveness. Let's not walk into forgiveness. Let's run. Let's run to the ones that we have been apart from. Let's run to the ones that have disrespected us and hurt us. Let's greet them warmly with a big hug and kiss and welcome them back into the family with a celebration, because that is what Christ has done for us, and that is what Christ expects us to do for each other as members of the kingdom family. Biblically, familial reconciliation and life together is a return to fullness of being. So now we know how we should respond with forgiveness. What can we learn from Jacob and the prodigal son about asking for forgiveness? Well, both men humbled themselves and positioned themselves as servants before the men that they had offended. Jacob even presented a very expensive gift to his brother alongside his apology, but it's not necessary. Don't worry. The prodigal son likely arrived empty-handed because he was very, very broke. All that's required for an apology is your heart on your sleeve. There's no room for ego. An apology is a confession of guilt and a promise to do better. And if you want to throw in an expensive gift, go for it. My prayer today is for broken families, specifically the kingdom family, because we are broken in so many ways. I pray we never lose hope for reconciliation, and God be the strength within us to do everything in our power to bring about familial reconciliation, because that is the desire of the Father. I love you all. Have a blessed day. Shabbat Shalom.